Alright, as you can see, I'm printing another print. This is called a lithophane. It's actually a black and white photo using the gray scale. What's going to happen is once this is done, once this is printed, and you put a light behind the print, the magic is having the light pass through the thick and the thin sections of the lithophane, producing a black and white photo. That's how lithophanes work. In the olden days, they were making lithophanes by carving them by hand. So I think they would use some form of translucent material. Could be porcelain. I'm not exactly sure. I wasn't there. But apparently back then they would carve out the photo using depth, cut into the material at a thickness that was left so that it would be darker and lighter depending on how dark and light each section of the photo is. So this started out as a black and white photo. So essentially the grayscale was already figured out. So it was put into a website that created a lithophane. The G code created from that is now being printed. So when this is done, I'll go ahead and add the light to the back, and you can indeed see the magic of the lithophane. Let's go ahead and do a quick tour of my printer. This is, again, as you've seen it before in all my videos, this is the same printer. This is the same assembly as all my printers. I use the same build plate as I always do because it works. Why would I change? Okay, so we'll go up here to the location of the filament holder. It's on the side. Okay, I use the old school tramming tool. It's a piece of paper, okay, not just a piece of paper, it's a 2-inch by about 6-inch strip of paper. You don't need to use the whole 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. Cut yourself a few strips. They'll last you forever. Right here, you can see it's a direct path for the filament right here going into the extruder, right? This pulls the filament off the spool and then feeds it, pushes it down the Bowden tube onto a moving print head. That's why they go with the Bowden tube. This is the filament delivery of filament to the head while it's moving, while it's constantly moving back and forth on the X-axis. This is the Y-axis. That's forward and back. The Z is up and down. X, Y, Z. Okay? There are those that say that having the filament holder here on the side will produce issues every single time the printer is used. That's false. Basically, this gantry has at least this much to travel before this print is done. Okay, so this is going to be done in a few minutes. Let's see how many. Estimated remaining about 23 minutes. This will be so far away, it'll be way up here before this even gets close, okay? Before this even gets close, this will hit here first. That's a problem. So I'd be more concerned about this issue right here than this issue. If this does get close and you know it's going to get close, just move it up here, okay? So those big prints, those long prints, those 7-inch high prints, move it up here. Simple enough, okay? Then move it back to the side when you know that the print is going to be less than 7 inches high, okay? So there you go. So this is the reason I put it here, is to avoid any friction with any arms or levers or gizmos or gadgets redirecting the filament. I don't need to do that if I can just put the holder right here. I can move it up and down all day long. Simple. We have the original plastic extruder, not any aftermarket metal one, because it's just way too many issues with the metal one getting it to work properly. In fact, there's more issues with the metal one than this one will ever have. Ever. In fact, the body has never had any issues. The stepper, no issues. The arm, the lever, if it has a problem, $3, 5 minutes, and you're back to printing. Simple. R&R, remove and replace. Printing 101, basic. You know, why make it worse for the printer? The Bowden tube is the original white, not the blue one, as you can see. Original hot end right here. No electronic gizmo on the side, which causes its own issues that people seem to have problems with all the time. That's why I use this. Okay, I can tram the bed in less than 3-4 minutes, and I start printing right away. I don't need to print any lines or circles or squares or test prints to test my work, because all that crap has to be removed just to start the print in the first place. Why bother? You know, trust your tramming skills. Start the print. That's it. Easy. Another thing that's kind of cool that is interesting for me, maybe not anybody else, but as you can see right there, again, I'm not just bullshitting. This is proof. The set point right here is 0. There's no heat to the bed. I've never heated the bed. That's room temperature, 210 Celsius on the nozzle. So to save me time and grief and heating and cooling and all of that, and warping and everything associated with heating the bed, I don't have to deal with it. In fact, when this print is done, or any print that's done in this fashion, is very easy to remove. Simple. Almost too easy. In fact, I don't put any effort in on it at all. Alright, so this is almost done. I'll show you pics when it is. Happy printing. Look at that, regular springs. These came with the printer. Isn't that hard to believe? So hard to believe that it's printing right now with the original springs. Those are OEM springs. That's OEM hot end right there. Original equipment manufactured hot end. There's no added direct drive or what do they call fan duct work added or anything, because the original fan right here works as it's supposed to. This fan works as it's supposed to, as it always has. Okay? Again, I'm not trying to be dishonest or lying or anything, because you can see it right here. Okay? No bullshit. Oh. No wrap, no brim, no messy ass glue stick. Right here is how it prints. Please don't take my word for it.